Welcome to Second Saturday TV. My name is Alfonso Severos. The last couple of episodes, we've been focusing on Brooklyn startups, tech companies that's changing the world, changing the way we live and do business. We will continue in that direction with a company called Soundmind. And I have the CEO of Soundmind, Erum Azeez with us. Before I introduce you to her, Soundmind is a voice platform to deliver better services to seniors using a voice assistant like Alexa. Erum, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I am really interested in anything that has to do with seniors. That may be a little personal motivation, but I am interested. When we consider the fact that close to 70 million individuals in the United States today, 71 million is 65 and over. And within that group, you have about 10 million 85 and over. Mm-hmm. In fact, the 85 and over group is the fastest growing population by percentage in the country. So we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yes.
Let's start off by you telling me, without getting into the product, how did you get an interest in addressing the needs of this population?
Well, essentially it started with our parents. You know, my co-founder and I, we both were empathizing with each other, how our parents were going through some of the challenges of aging that required professional care. My mother receives home health care, and my co-founder's mother had Alzheimer's, and his father was taking care of his mother, and we knew that they needed help. Yeah. And in our lives, we use technology for almost everything. Yes. But you know, my mother had a hard time using smartphones, as she wasn't leveraging all the benefits of using apps or connecting with people easily.
I can relate to that now, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard for her to. I mean, she doesn't send any text messages. It's just really not her cup of tea. And so, when Amazon had come out with Alexa, we saw that this is a great platform to use technology to help older adults. All they have to do is speak. If you can speak, you can access services. You can order Ubers, you can order food, but you can also call, whether it's video calling through devices like the Echo Show or just sending a message. And there's also just a lot of content. You can access music, news, podcasts, games. There's so much you can do. It's really a conversational interface to the internet. And we were very excited that there's an opportunity to build something very specific for the needs of older adults.
That's, it makes so much sense. But until you started talking about it, and until I started looking up Soundmind, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I just never made the connection to a population in which I'm part of that can benefit immensely by this device. Tell us about your product.
Yeah. So Soundmind is a voice-first platform where senior care providers can customize and manage the skills on Alexa. They teach Alexa to be a care assistant. There's a huge shortage of caregivers.
Right.
Whether for home care or being in senior housing, and they're overworked, and they need help taking care of older adults that are dealing with lack of independence, boredom, and loneliness. So being able to have a tool to use to provide an extra voice, an extra hand, can help tremendously when providing care.
You mentioned something, loneliness. This is like another friend? Are we looking at it like that?
No, I would say it's a way of communicating with other people in your life, so you don't have to text message. Like, again, the difficulty of text messaging, you can just say, Alexa, send a message.
Right.
But there is a little bit of that, so there is, Alexa does respond to, questions like, when's your birthday, and what are you thinking about right now? There's a lot of that, and it's kind of basic right now, but there definitely is this whole idea of like a conversational assistant, like a bot that can really help you. And do you develop a relationship? Do we have relationships with our phones? It's that there's a lot of behavioral analysis, and we actually work with Cornell Tech, and they're like doing a lot of analytics for us to understand what is the relationship between this type of technology and our demographics, older adults, but just humans in general. What's the human-machine interface and relationship?
So it's basically you guys basically develop a conversational AI software.
Software, yep.
Okay. Would you like to demonstrate? You brought
Yeah.
with us.
Yes, absolutely. Sure,
So
I would.
How would it work?
Okay, so essentially we're just using right now an existing platform. We have Alexa right now, but Google, Siri, and really using our software to train it to provide care.
Okay.
So train it.
Okay.
And being able to specifically for senior housing.
All
For
right.
example, when a resident in a senior housing wants to ask for something, they either have to find someone who's available, and that person might forget what they need, and then their
Okay.
request goes unheard. One way to mitigate that is to allow a resident to ask Alexa for what they need, and the message can be sent to the right member of staff. So for example, they can say something as simple as, Alexa, I need something.
Tell me what you need and I'll notify the staff.
Someone to talk to.
I understand you'd like help with someone to talk to. Is that right?
Yes. I think it's a little
All right.
slow. So essentially what happens is
Your request
demos.
has been placed successfully.
Okay.
Okay, so basically what happened is it sent a message
To
to
who?
a staff member. So say I'm the staff
Right.
member, I get a message on my phone,
Okay.
and it says the person's name. It says a new resident request, and then you just click on it, and then it tells you the person that made the request what they need,
Okay.
and then you can accept it, and then the message is then again sent to the resident's device, and then they know that their request is being taken care of.
So if I was a resident in some facility and I had this device, the staff would have to load personal information about me, my birthday, my schedule, and all this stuff, and this will keep me updated. Am I-
Exactly. And so on our platform, it's just a secure platform
Right.
where you can add that information, and it's stored in on our software. And then Alexa has access to the information, but not knowing a lot of who you are and where it's
Okay.
from. So
One of the problems with seniors is that they forget to take their medication. Is that built in it to be able to remind people or ask people, did you take your medication, or it's time to take your medication? Is that part of the platform?
yeah, so that's something that you can easily do just by voice. So you can say, Alexa, remind me to take medication
When should I remind you?
every day at 4 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you every day at 4 p.m.
And that's something that comes standard, but there's a lot of things that are native to
Right.
Alexa to help, and then there are things that we built on top of it to really provide a care experience.
Yeah. How long was the software difficult to develop? Or-
Well, yeah, we have developers. We have our CTO, our Chief
Right.
Technology Officer, who has a lot of experience developing enterprise-level software in a secure way. And then we have a full-stack developer, so he can develop lots of different
Right.
layers of the software.
Yeah.
And then, we have other people that support that we work with, and so we have to really design it with our clients in mind. We went and spoke to a lot of older adults living in communities, and they really helped us design it in a way that works for them.
What was the biggest feedback from older adults? Any particular one thing
Yeah,
that stood out?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, one of the things is that Alexa speaks really fast, so to access our information, we were able to slow down the
Slow
voice.
down.
Yes, and this technology is evolving very quickly. Amazon's doing a lot of work, for our specific software. We have to develop things very quickly. So you can say, Alexa, slow down your speech, and being able to, hear it at the pace which you can understand information.
Right now, it's not available for the general public. Am I correct?
Yes, Soundmind right now is targeted to senior housing, and that's where we're serving today. But we're also now piloting with home care agencies, and we see that as a bridge to a consumer model, because there is a huge trend, aging in place, where people want to live at home and they're comfortable there, but they still might need assistance.
Yeah, I can understand that, and the more assistance that can be given, and this fills the gap between those home care workers. When do you think you'll be moving into the consumer market?
Yeah, after we do a pilot with home care, we're going to see how that works, right? This is really going into the home, understanding so we have the 3 C's of Soundmind. They're concierge services, communications, and content.
Okay.
So being able to customize those solutions for home care and for people in the home, which they would probably be able to do on their own if they have their own device, and then they can access our Soundmind care skills, the ones that are designed for services by asking, a care staff for help.
Okay.
Or even like who's on my care team, what's on my care plan, asking information about their care.
Okay. Let me change up the topic a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you know that this is what I want to do? Was there a point or an event or something that says, I'm going after that?
Yeah. I mean, I have been really lucky to meet a lot of great entrepreneurs in my life, and I saw how they built nothing, or like something from nothing.
Right.
They were determined. They had a really clear idea, really clear opportunity. And when I saw all of those things align, where I saw, okay, there is this demographic of people that everyone's aging, we all are, and like, what do we need to make that experience better, and make it easier? And when we were able to connect all these micro ideas and create a big idea, it's like, let's just go for it. And when we started talking to residents and getting validation that this is something that they want,
absolutely,
then we're like, why would we stop? Because we started getting into senior homes, and we saw that there was a lot of great outcomes. We saw a reduction in depression scores.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah.
That there would be a reduction, and my thinking off the hand is that there is like almost connecting with a buddy here, just addressing that loneliness, that social isolation that so many seniors experience.
Yeah, and there's social isolation, but there's also isolation from information and like being able to access the news and weather and do it in a way where it's easy.
It's frustrating when you forget.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you forget, and you can ask so much.
Oh wow. You're the CEO, Chief Operational Officer, the Chief Executive Officer. What are some of the challenges you face as the CEO of a startup, being a woman? Are there any obstacles that's unique to you being a woman or being a woman of color?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of obstacles for being a CEO.
Yes.
There's a lot of obstacles for being a female. There's a lot of obstacles for being a person of color in the United States. But, being able to navigate that, I've, again, been really blessed to have a network of female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs of color, and from different industries.
Right.
And, for example, one of our supporters is of the Hearst Corporation. They have it's called Hearst Lab, where they focus on investing in diverse and female-led startups. And we have a bunch of women that support each other, and it's been great, And even our team, we're diverse. We have females and males in our team, and being able to have those diverse perspectives helps us create a product that serves a diverse market. So we have lots of different ideas, and it's not just like one idea for one market, and that's been really helping us because there's a lot here. The language, being able.
I was going to get to language.
Yeah, so there's a large Spanish-speaking population in New York City, so we can set these devices to be to speak Spanish, and then we have to change our applications particularly to be Spanish-speaking. So, you know.
Have you tested that yet?
Yeah. So we tested it already. I'm not going to butcher. I can speak some Spanish. I definitely understand it, but I
No,
don't want to
okay.
embarrass myself. I already embarrassed myself with the demo. So.
Okay, okay. Because New York, I live in a Russian-speaking community,
That's- yep.
Brighton Beach, and there's a lot of seniors out there.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a
Russian, Chinese.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a big one in New York.
Oh, so when you start incorporating different languages, you really expand the possibility of who you will be providing this for.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay. How has it been going with the supported living that you have been? How long has it been out there? How long have you actually been providing this?
Yeah, so providing our Soundmind software has been about 2 years.
2 years.
Yes, and that has been, again, we provide this to senior housing across with the
Right,
continuum
right.
of care. So from independent living, where it's more of a retirement community, to assisted, and there's skilled nursing facilities. So there's different types, and they all
Sure.
have different like benefits that they want to focus on. Where like skilled nursing, they really want to focus on reducing the pressure off the call bell systems, because they're being used all the time
the
for.
time.
They're only meant for like emergencies, but they're being used for like non-medical requests.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's usually the nurse that has to respond to that. And the nurse, you know, is a high-paid individual and has to focus on medical care, but sometimes he or she has to address, you know, a cup of tea or like a light bulb's broken.
In those situations, how did the actual seniors respond to, even though it's just voice activated, to using that? Was there resistance, or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, so right now we're working, the people that we work with, I mean, there's some training, again,
Right.
you know, and there is a little resistance. Like, what is this device? Like, like, is it listening to all my conversations? So there's a lot of education that we
Yeah.
provide. But when they start using it and they see that, oh, I can do, it's not just a call bell. It's not just an alarm clock. There's
Okay.
just so much I can do, especially, particularly for me being in this community.
Yeah.
So I can find out what's happening on the community calendar, what's on the menu, but also be able to call staff and call my family, and there's a lot you can do.
Well, there's a built-in growth factor, because now you have baby boomers who are aging, and they grew up in technology.
Yes.
So that's a big difference than those in their late 80s or 80s who, you know, they're very much afraid of technology.
Yes.
So that should have some impact with you.
Right, it does, absolutely. And even for people that are a lot older, you know, it has, it's not really an age thing. It's really someone who's open-minded,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
And so we have people that are like, you know, 95, 100 that are using a Soundmind and the Alexa combination.
Okay. Where do you see this company going in the next 4 or 5 years?
So we're looking, besides just, you know, mainly healthcare, where you can access, you know, care plans and put medication reminders. There's a lot of content that can be delivered, whether it's being able to talk to Alexa about your memories and being able to have reminiscence therapy, things that people don't think that are directly related to health, but they are, because they give you peace of mind.
Yeah.
They give you a way to have like a therapeutic experience where you can have a conversation and record it and share it after you know, obviously develop the trust with Alexa or, you know, other voice assistants. So that's another thing, is being able to provide the Soundmind experience to Google, Siri, and other voice assistants.
These voice assistant companies like Amazon produces Alexa.
Yes.
I assume they've been very open to working along with you.
Yep. Yeah, they have. So they opened up their software for
Right,
parties
right.
like us to develop, you know, our skills. But we talk to them on a biweekly basis. You know, they have been supportive in, you know, what we're doing, because they ultimately want us to, you know, develop on their platform.
Right, right.
But for us, it's a way to get in the market quickly. So we don't have to develop this complex, you know, natural language processing algorithm. We're borrowing Amazon's for just the Alexa experience.
You ever,
Yeah, go ahead.
you ever think you'll be going in that direction to develop the hardware? Or,
It's you know, everything's on the table. So you know, it really depends. You know, there's
yeah.
and what we want to build. You know, there's a lot you can do. There's a whole concept of voice analytics,
Yeah.
where you can determine mood, cognition, and even your heart rate. You can measure through your voice.
I'm very much aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot that can happen, a lot of non-invasive diagnostics.
Wow. Whoa. I just relieved a lot of anxiety about me aging. But Erum, this has been really, really informative. I'm really interested in Soundmind, and I'm going to follow you guys and see where this company goes. And I may be one of your early customers when you enter the consumer market. But I'd like to thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Time went by so fast. It looks like we just started talking, and before I know, it's done. But if you're open,
Yes,
I'd like to invite you back in about a year.
let's do it.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
be able to see where the company is, and because this is interesting. And AI is moving so quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you keep up with the advances in AI too?
A lot of reading, a lot of collaboration.
Yeah.
That happens. A lot of partnerships, but even us just being able to focus on one thing, do it right, and then expand from there.
Right. Well, folks, these are exciting times. I mean, technology is not only changing the world, it's also helping us in many ways that 10 years ago we didn't even imagine, 10, 15 years ago. I mean, I remember when I was a young man and I took a course on the psychology of aging, and what they taught us about aging, everything I learned is the complete opposite of what's going on today. And it's great to see companies like yours and technology addressing some of the need of that segment of the population. So I wish you guys the best. I really wish you guys the best. If someone wanted to find out more information about your company, is there a web page or a site they can go to?
Yes, absolutely. So our website is www.soundmindinc. That's soundmindinc.com. We also have a Facebook page, Twitter, LinkedIn. We also have a phone number, so we have lots of ways to interact with us.
Okay then, soundmindinc.com. Easy to remember. Well, folks, it's that time. Once again, Erum, thank you for being here and sharing.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to come back next year.
That sounds great. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, I'll see you on the next second Saturday.